What's up, YouTube? Welcome to a Solid Sports Gaming special video. I'm Troy West said thank you for watching. I just wanted to touch over the NBA Finals and a couple of other things going on in the world of sports. Sorry I haven't been on in a while. I've been trying to do things behind the scenes. Like I said, I'm going to try to do some more Nintendo shorts as well from the Switch and with the retro games and everything. I want to get back into that as well. Just been working, doing things behind the scenes. So hopefully things will start rolling. I want to get the channel back on. So hopefully you guys see this video. But we're going to talk more about the finals. But just to touch on other things going on around in the world of sports, baseball season in full swing as we're getting closer to the All-Star break. Teams are starting to separate themselves, like the Yankees, the Baltimore Orioles, and the AL East, and the Central, there's the Indians, and the Kansas City Royals still hanging in there. In the West, Seattle starting to pull away with that division. We go to the National League. The Philadelphia Phillies has been consistent all season long as well. My Braves are starting to fade a little bit. Got injuries, but starting to fade. Already 10 games back. The Central pretty much bunched up. Milwaukee got a little bit of a lead, but everybody else has pretty much got the same record. In the West, it's the Dodgers and the Padres, and everybody else sort of lacking. So that's what's going on in baseball. NFL news, not really a lot. You know, it's the off season. I do want to plan on doing our NFL roundabout series with the divisions, maybe after the finals. I'm going to try to fit in, even if it's just a short, quick video on every division every week. I'm going to try to do that like we did last summer for 8 weeks. It's 8 divisions. So, but I think we're going to do it differently. We're going to start from the West and go over to the East. This year, usually we start in the East and go West. So I think we're going to start in the West this year. We might just start with the AL West. I mean, the AFC West, excuse me, in NFL. With the defending champion Chiefs, we probably touch on that division first, and then probably last division to probably be the NFC East. We usually start with the NFC East, but like I said, NFL is always interesting, so we're gonna do that in the next couple of weeks. But off the field, you know, the Aaron Rodgers missing minicamp, that's the biggest news story. I mean, you know, me being a fan, I don't know the impact fully, but I know the media, most people in the media is pretty much criticizing Aaron Rodgers for missing minicamp. I think it's important because this is really his first year. He didn't play at all last season because of the injury. So I think to get cohesiveness with teammates and things of that nature is important. In NFL, it seems like it always is. But he's always been sort of a condescending player, even his time in Green Bay. I mean, this should be a surprise, I guess, to some people. But I mean, he's just so good. He usually overlaps that, but I think now that he's older, I think everything that he needs to take it, including getting more time with his teammates. So we'll see how that turns out. But it's not a big deal to me personally, but I understand how some people could be critical of that. But other than that, no really other news in the NFL. Things gonna be probably quiet, you know, until maybe next month we'll start seeing things heat up there. But in the NBA, before we get into the finals, of course, everybody know the passing of Jerry West. Of course, Jerry West is before my time. I'm 40 years old. I didn't really start watching NBA till maybe the early mid-90s, you know, during the Jordan era, of course, during his dominance in the 90s. But I did, like I said, I tell this story sometimes. I know a lot about basically post Magic and Bird era in the 70s, 60s, and 50s when the Celtics with Bill Russell was dominant during that time. I read a lot about it. I did a report on NBA history in the year 2001. So I read a lot about that era, Will Chamberlain, all the stuff that he did back at that time. Like I said, the Celtics was a dominant team back then. And Jerry West was in that era as well. Lakers, you know, Lakers was, you know, pretty much that franchise, but Celtics always been, basically was just them and the Celtics pretty much, but the Celtics always got the upper hand. He actually was the only player in NBA history probably ever, because I don't think it's going to happen again, that get voted MVP in the loser series. The series didn't go 7 games, and it was a tight series. I think he averaged averaged over 40 points a game. I think it was 69, if I remember correctly. He was a great player. Of course, I didn't see him play. I know him more as an executive and just by reading about him. He's definitely one of the best players in history, but he was even a great executive. Of course, he helped build that Lakers team in the early 2000s with Shaq and Kobe Bryant. Of course, he went out his way to draft Kobe. And you saw how that turned out. With 5 championships overall with the Kobe drafted Kobe, traded him from the Charlotte Hornets. But he went on, moved on from the Lakers, went to the Memphis Grizzlies. Had a pretty decent run there for Memphis being what they was. They was competitive when he was the GM there and executive. Then they moved to the Clippers. You see how the Clippers are sort of steady. Still never got over the hook, but still a steady team. He helped put that Warriors team together as well. So just sad, like I said, a lot of, especially in the NBA, we've lost a lot of people lately. Of course, Bill Walton was last week. So it's just sad news. He did, he was 85. So, he lived a good life. But condolences to his family. He was a great NBA player. I think that's what a lot of people forget, how great of an NBA player he was. But he was a great executive. It's just of course, he's the logo. I almost forgot to mention that. The NBA logo that you see is a silhouette of him dribbling the basketball. It's been talk of changing the logo. So we'll see if that still happens. But NBA lost a legend the last couple of weeks, him and Bill Walton. Hopefully, the NBA gonna do something. Probably the Lakers probably the beginning of next season for Jerry West. So Jerry West, rest in peace. I think he was 85 years old. So that's been the biggest news in the NBA, other than the finals. Pretty much one-sided. I didn't think. It would be just one-sided. Game 1, of course, was a wipeout. Porzingis went off, coming off the injury, gave the Celtics a spark. They won Game 1 pretty easily. Game 2 was a little bit more tight, and Boston pulled away. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, but it was Drew Holiday in that game carrying them on offense. But as far as the other days on the court, Jason Tatum pretty much almost had a triple-double, I believe. Jaylen Brown been steady. This whole playoffs, he's been their best player in the playoffs for sure. Game 3, of course, was just last night. Just the I watched the first quarter when Dallas went up 13, and that crowd was just going nuts. And then Boston still crawled all the way back. I think it was 31-30 after the first quarter, so they cut it to 1. And then they took the lead and pretty much was in control of the game after that. Like, once they figured out that first wave and they didn't let them take them out the game, I think Boston got the confidence. Jason Tatum had his best game in the finals so far. Jaylen Brown did what he did. They both had over 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And just defensively, they just a better team. I said that from the beginning of this series. I thought it would go 6. I'm leaning sweep as well. It's hard not to say they're going to finish the sweep off. We'll see games like this. We'll see what Dallas' mentality is. Even though most likely they're not going to come back and win this series. Nobody never done it in 3-0 fashion in the playoffs. Period in the NBA. But we'll see if they quit, because we'll know probably by halftime if it's out of reach. Dallas, they don't want to go travel to Boston and probably lose there for Game 5. So we're going to see the mentality of this team. If they fight, even if they lose and it's a close game, I think the Mavs didn't quit and they roll over. I think that's pretty much all we got to see. But pretty much what's left to figure out this series, because the series is pretty much over. I don't see the Mavs winning 4 in a row. I was sort of rooting for the Mavs. Like I said, I like Luka Doncic. But I ain't going to lie. Like, I know, what was it in the last series with Minnesota? And somebody was called a crybaby. Last night he did seem like he was a crybaby. And I love Luka, but you gotta just play, man. You're a great player. Just play through the whistles. Yeah, it ain't gonna go your way, but I think once the officials, even though I don't like saying this because it shouldn't matter what you shouldn't have any. I don't want to say personal, but your attitude shouldn't change a call. If the call is the call, call it. But he was just complaining about every little call. Some of the times he wasn't fouled. Some of the times he was fouled. So I understood his frustration. Kyrie Irving family came out. That was the positive from this game for Dallas. But the role players still just not doing enough. They finally played Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm also wondering why he has been pretty much out the rotation. So I can't blame him for not having an immediate impact. I think he needs to just get back in the rotation. But Game 4 is going to tell a lot. We go right back tomorrow night in Dallas. If the Mavs don't want to go to Boston, we'll see, I think, early in the first half what their mentality is if they going to roll over. But I think this series is over. I picked Boston to win the series. I picked Boston in my preseason picks. Before the playoffs, I said they would do it. I thought Denver would be here instead of Dallas. I did pick Dallas. I picked against Dallas the last three series, if you count this one. I did think they would get past Minnesota. I just thought Minnesota would, since they was a good defensive team, just like I think Boston is, will be able to handle Luka enough. But I forgot how Minnesota is offense themselves. So Anthony Edwards would have had to carry them, score 40, 50 points a game, and he just couldn't do it. OKC just was young, as we expected. That's why I sort of gave Dallas a chance in that series, but I thought they was just I thought they was deep, I should say. But I think the veterans on Dallas was the difference in that series, and they got through that one. But it's going to be interesting to see what Dallas do to improve this team. I think Luka got to make some adjustments as a player as well. I think he got to sort of fill the game out more. I mean, yeah, the way he plays is effective, but I think as far as like pace, I think like they've been comparing the pace with the Pacers, pun intended a little bit, but not really. The Pacers just got a fast pace, so Boston don't get a chance to set and get their defenses assignments together. So Indiana will just come down and just get the offense rolling. I think Dallas need to do a little bit more of that. I think last night, especially because Kyrie was cooking, I think Kyrie should have been more running the point. Luka play off the ball, but Luka's just not used to playing off the ball. So, and it's hurting them in this series. It's ultimately going to cost them a title, at least for now. But we'll see. Luka's still young, compared to the NBA, but he's been playing basketball pretty much his whole life. So, but no, I'm not going to say congratulations. Yeah, one of the ones that I wait till it happens officially. So I don't want to. I don't believe it jinxes and stuff, but it ain't over yet. But pretty much it's over. But what a series though. I thought this would be at least a 6-game series, but it might be over tomorrow night in Dallas as Boston look like they about to clinch the 17th or is the 18th championship. I think it's the 18th. To break the tie with the Lakers for all-time titles. And this team, I want to see what this team does next year to improve. I think they can pretty much run it back. I mean, I think they still do need to strengthen their bench. I think they need a little more size on the bench. But if let's just say Porzingis is healthy next year, everybody's healthy. They still got one of the best starting fives in the NBA. Everybody's still relatively young. Drew Holiday, he's a little older, but he still, could do what he do. So I wonder what Boston will do in the offseason to improve their team. I think they just need to get some size on the bench. I think everything else is fine. I think the only thing about them, like I said why I thought, Dallas would get a game or two just off of this alone, the 3-point shooter. But they haven't. I gotta take something back. I was wrong. Boston really haven't been shooting the 3 well at all. Not even last night either. They haven't shot the 3 well in this series, but I think the defense has been the difference, and they is just a deeper team. And anybody could just go through a stretch and score a couple buckets. I think Dallas is pretty much just Kyrie or Luka. There's nobody else that can really create their own offense or do anything to that nature. So that's what's cost them. So this is just a quick video. I just wanted to do that real quick. Talk about the finals. Next week I got a busy schedule, but like I said, we're gonna try to start the roundabout of the NFL series soon. I'm gonna try to start doing some shorts again soon with the Switch as well. Like I said, PlayStation, still don't know when that's gonna be back. But I'm trying to get back into everything, guys. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Shout out to my man B. Hope everything going good with you, my man Caper, Dollar Hologram, and all the rest of my YouTube family. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna try to do more of content, so I can't blame nobody but myself. I've been just working and trying to figure some things out. So I've been doing videos, and then, like I said, Wednesdays and Thursdays is really my days. I can really try to do something. The other days of the week, it's hard because I don't have my own space or nowhere to record. So that's why I try to fit it and just do something short. But this is short as I'm at 16 minutes, so pretty good timing. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Other days going to the sports. Stanley Cup Finals, 2-0 Florida Panthers over the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton is at home now. We'll see how if that series flip, or it could be the same situation with Dallas and Boston with a 3-0 lead for the Florida Panthers. Other than that, nothing much really to talk about, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you guys soon. Just look on my community wall for things. Look for shorts. I'm gonna try to do at least one today. I just gotta figure out what game I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do one today. I'm gonna do one today. I just don't know exactly what yet. I'm gonna do something today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Troy West. Appreciate you guys. Sub if you haven't subbed up. Trust me, we're gonna try to get some content on here, some more content. Sports and video games. That's what this channel is about. So thank you guys. People that's been here with me for years. Appreciate you guys. Y'all know what it's about. Love you guys. Peace and love always. See you guys in the next video. Enjoy the finals. I hope Dallas wins just so the finals will end so fast. But most likely, guys, it's going to be over tomorrow night. Thank you guys so much. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week. I'll see you guys next time. Peace and love always, guys.